People excited about the game. We'll just come back to that because here's a chance for an attack for Mallorca as they work their way down the right now. Ball comes in and that's going to be easy clear for Junior Firpo. Finds Antoine Griezmann. Nice bit of skill from Young. And now Busquets sending it wide to Messi, who stretches to keep it in. Still four in the middle. Messi might shoot here. Bit of a cross shot that's not fully dealt with. Here's Griezmann across the face of goal, and Suarez won't be able to keep that one in.
Just inaccurate with the cross, puts too much weight on it as well. You can see Junior Firpo there with the initial word.
From the back here, Gerard Piqué gets a foot in, but can only give it straight to Alex Febas. A touch for Take Kubo. And now Gamith back to Baba, who has a very important job in the centre of midfield, protecting his back four. Now Salvador Sevilla switches it to the left for Sastre. He steps inside and goes for the diagonal pass for Take Kubo. Some whistles for the Real Madrid player on loan, and he sends in a good cross that Sergio Roberto has to stretch to clear away from Dani Rodriguez at the expense of a corner. Very good first contribution from Kubo there.
Yep, and it's pleasing to see Mallorca commit so many players into. You've got two in the penalty box, you've got 3 or 4.
The 6-yard box really should have been the opening goal, but now it could be the opening goal for Barca because here is Griezmann. He's got a chance to open the scoring and he does so. Classy finish from Antoine Griezmann 10 seconds after Barcelona probably should have fallen behind. A quick counter-attack and Antoine Griezmann has his 5th goal of the season, and Marc-Andre ter Stegen with the smile because it's his assist. Not for the first time this season. He sets up Luis Suarez for a goal at Getafe earlier in the campaign. This time, quick ball out, Griezmann ran clear and Barca ahead.
It can be so cruel at times, football, can't it? We're going to talk, the whole replay has to cover the fact, I think it's Dani Rodriguez who can't really make a definitive attempt to goal when he probably should have done. And they switch off. You can see 1 or 2 players getting back, but 5 or 6 of them are jogging back into position. It's a defence splitting pass from a goalkeeper that doesn't surprise us when with a counter-attack, which is not how we expected Barcelona to open the scoring.
And now a free kick as Kubo causes problems, getting in behind Sergio Roberto, who will pull him back and is getting a yellow card for that. So all action in these opening 8 minutes. You were saying, Terry, just a couple of mistakes from Mallorca there. Dani Rodriguez with the finish, he should have scored. Then a couple of players switching off. Gamith went for the interception on the halfway line that he didn't make, and against Barcelona's quality, you can't afford to make those mistakes.
It's naive from Mallorca. They did switch off. You can see there's lots of players out of position, but still the player that Busquets is, and he has come on for some criticism from the media, from the supporters.
Here's Dani Rodriguez latching onto the flick on by Budimir. Kubo trying to find Budimir. It falls loose to Salva Sevilla. He gets it back from Baba. And Sevilla can work it to the right-hand side where the fullback Fran Gamith has come forward. Here's Baba, just almost showed too much of it to Frenkie de Jong, for example.
Yeah, no, I think we're seeing a new midfield that's developing. Him, De Jong, Artur, Rakitic.
And here's Messi, and he gets it back now from Junior Firpo. De Jong, Rakitic, edge of the box, might fancy a shot. Instead slides the pass to Suarez, who goes down under the challenge of Antonio Ramos.
Still top quality player.
And he's going to take this corner now. Busquets heads it on and it's pushed away. Put Mallorca under pressure for another couple of minutes, so he's more careful this time. Here's Sastre. Kubo, he swapped over to the left flank, as I mentioned. He will do at times. Started up to go from Barcelona to Real Madrid. So he's lining up at the Camp Nou, not in the way that people expected a few years ago. Here's Messi to Busquets. Clips the pass easily to Griezmann, popping up on the right. Messi turning to shoot.
Just because it's Messi, we tick it off as another great goal from Lionel Messi. This is an incredible goal. Every touch there is supreme. Where he turns, it is, but There are a few that can do it on a regular basis, but none as regular as Messi.
So already a special moment from the newly crowned Ballon d'Or winner. Shouldn't be newly crowned, in my opinion, and the opinion of many people. Should have won it practically every year, as you alluded to earlier, Terry.
Yeah, it is harsh on Mallorca. I mean, Barcelona have had two probably good attacks and scored with both of them, but that's the efficiency you get when you have a team that's an attacking line that's cost hundreds of millions of pounds, and as we said, the best player in the world. So it's tough on Mallorca to score, and
it might get tougher yet. We saw a nice flurry from Kubo, who has it again here, ball into the box, half cleared as far as Dani Rodriguez, who goes for a curler, and that's not far. Cut out by Gamez. Budimir with a nice layoff. His Baba, he gives it away to Sergio Roberto. Busquets, back they come again. The Blaugrana shirts come forward. Suarez, Griezmann, Messi, Suarez not quite. Almost a scintillating goal for Barca, just cut out at the end by Gamez. Front three combining. Busquets now looking for Luis Suarez, headed back across goal into the arms of Manolo Reina. Salva Sevilla gives it away. They're doing that too often. Here's Messi. Messi with, for once, Manolo Reina. Salva Sevilla, Manolo Reina. Salva Sevilla.
Look at their very, very best tonight. I would suggest to Manolo Reina, he's 34 years of age. He's probably the only player other than Salva Sevilla that's played against Barcelona. Don't keep throwing the ball out quickly down the centre of the pitch when your team, they're hanging on for dear life. And they're 2 goals behind already, and he's causing them more problems than he needs to.
He might have more work here as Frenkie de Jong cuts it back. Messi unable to run onto it. We'll just go pitch side.
To be honest, to spoil. I mean, they're not normal supporters in terms of they win something every year. They normally win the league title, and if they don't win a Champions League, they think it's devastating. But that's, you know, try supporting a lot of other clubs around the world
who never get near one.
Exactly.
Another good burst by Take Kubo there. He has shown some bright moments, the 18-year-old down the right wing, showing his technique there to get past Lenglet and draw the foul, which has given me
spoil. I mean, they're not normal supporters in terms of they win something every year. They normally win the league title, and if they don't win a Champions League, they think it's devils away from home.
They don't have that counter-attacking threat, as you say. Messi with a great ball for Sergio Roberto, cuts it back, Luis Suarez off the post and across the face of goal. Well, we nearly
in the appreciation of, first of all, Busquets, and now Rakitic.
And now Messi, who they never short to appreciate. Here's Junior Firpo. Suarez steps over it. Messi can't quite control as Salva Sevilla gets a foot in. And is that a foul by Junior Firpo?
On the sidelines, marshalling their troops, asking them to push out, put a little bit more pressure on to Barcelona.
Now they're under pressure as Messi finds Suarez. Messi again chests it down. Good save by Manolo Reina coming out.
Play right back, despite playing probably over 100 games in that position now.
Here's Frenkie de Jong finding Messi inside, looking for Griezmann. Messi might pounce on the edge of the area. Who's shown his versatility since returning to favour last week. Oh, now here is Suarez, played through. Luis Suarez round the goalkeeper, clipped. Is that a penalty? It's wide, it's no goal, and it looks like it was caught as he went round the keeper here. Well, maybe not. Maybe there was a slight touch on the thigh or the knee as he went past Manolo Reina.
It's almost a slap on the thigh, which isn't enough. And I think he just tumbles after that. And I think the reason it is just the tumble is the fact he tries to steal, winning the ball back. They're closing the ball down really quickly, really sharply. Mallorca can't get out of their own half.
Proved again right now as Salva Sevilla gives it away, and here's Suarez looking for his goal. Can't get it as the block comes in from Valiente. Kubo with a few whistles. Find Dani Rodriguez, and look at this break that's on now. Ante Budimir to his right, now making the run diagonally to the left as the pass goes out to Gamez. His cross is a little inaccurate, but does fall for Salva Sevilla. Febas to Sastre. They couldn't make the most of that counter-attack, and again, Terry, it's that lack of pace of Budimir's that you mentioned. If he was quicker, he would have been able to make a darting run at the head of the ball then, and Rodriguez could have fed him with a run through on goal. as Salva Sevilla plays it through now, and the shot is in from Budimir. So he's pulled one back. I think there was a deflection on the way through, but Mallorca have a lifeline. Lovely ball through from Salva Sevilla, and Budimir did break through on that occasion, got the shot away with his left foot, and for Budimir it's a 4th goal of the season, and he didn't have express pace to break onto this one, but he did time his run perfectly.
Yeah, the movement's great. The pass from Salva Sevilla is perfectly timed, aligning with the movement of the big striker, and he does really well. He holds off Clement Longley. Slightly fortunate, maybe a little deflection on the finish from Budimir.
Quite a big deflection, I think. We see the bottom of his boot, it hits, then bounces up over Ter Stegen to give him no chance.
Yep, takes it away. I think Budimir's attempt is going to be a low attempt at goal.
Yeah.
He's certainly not looking to lift it over the Barcelona goalkeeper. The deflection clears.
Messi towards the far post, but an easy gather for Manolo Reina on that occasion. And there's a bit of a disagreement this time between Dani Rodriguez and Luis Suarez.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. Suarez, when the ball was collected by Manolo Reina from what was a poor delivery from Messi, Suarez just grabs Dani Rodriguez, and he doesn't necessarily throw him to the ground. Rodriguez goes to ground, but I don't see any reason why he would do this other than perhaps he thinks that Dani Rodriguez
from going on a counter-attack. Here he is in possession now, though. Dani Rodriguez gets it back to Kubo. Salva Sevilla worked over to Sastre, and Baba
from the set piece. That's always a route to goal. Barcelona will get apprehensive if they don't stretch their lead further.
It's given away by Salva Sevilla, well read by Rakitic, and here is Suarez. 5 minutes to play in the first half. Rakitic to Messi. Messi, goal! Another one! Another Leo Messi special. Vicente Moreno wound him up a few minutes ago, and that is how the master repays you. If you get him angry, he does that to you.
I did warn about the inevitability that it was going to be a hat-trick. It's astonishing. He's not a bead of sweat on his forehead, and it's not cold in Barcelona, let me tell you. So it's astonishing what he's done. Just as the words were coming out of our mouths that Mallorca have to get to half-time with just a 1-goal deficit. They're very much in the game. Don't let Barcelona stretch their lead. Then a little bit of link-up play, nice spell of passing, good movement from Barcelona, but the rest is done by Messi. It's incredible. Is exactly the same in the last 3 goals that Messi has scored.
And as we were saying, when Mallorca needed to get to the break, gives it back to the Dutchman. A 1-2 with Sergio Roberto. Now Luis Suarez. Oh! Luis Suarez with a backheel goal. 4-1. And Suarez is on the score sheet. Some scintillating play from Barcelona.
The backheel actually goes into the goal, past the goalkeeper. It's the second time we've seen a similar spell of passing football in and around the edge of the penalty area. It is absolutely brilliant. Sergio Roberto, De Jong, and there's the backheel from Luis Suarez.
Goal, and here he comes again. We're going to have another before the break. Suarez, Griezmann, Antoine Griezmann, well challenged. Rakitic can't win it back, and Alex Febas brings it away. And here's Baba. They continue the attack with Kubo now, 4 against 4, as Kubo comes forward. Jeers from the Barca fans, and Budimir can't find him with the return pass. Piqué.
I've seen in the last few games from...
We'll see if they gel. Here's Messi finding Griezmann. He looks outside for the run of Junior Firpo, but that run wasn't forthcoming.
It should be.
Goes back inside instead. And Messi, now Sergio Roberto, Rakitic takes on the shot, and not far wide from... In the attempted deal for Neymar, they wanted to offload him to PSG to bring Neymar the other way, and even he was likely to leave in January, but now here he is back in the team 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, he's a valuable player. He's an absolutely brilliant footballer, and it was harsh for him to then suddenly be behind the new signing.
Wanted to offload him to PSG to bring Neymar the other way, and even he was likely to leave in January, but now here he offload him to PSG to bring Neymar the other way, and even he was likely to leave in January, but now here he is back in the team. There will be criticism We've seen some skillful moments from Take Kubo today and some tenacity. Forward from Gameth, it's cleared as far as Kubo. Tries to slide the pass inside for Dani Rodriguez, but that's cut out, and here's Messi now. He gives it away to Kubo. The young Japanese winger gets past him, and it's on from Sastre to Budimir. Salva Sevilla. Baba. Kubo beaten to the ball by Junior Firpo. And now here's Frenkie de Jong with space to run into. He's always happy to take that invitation. Great run from Frenkie de Jong and a great pass. Griezmann with a chance for number 5. Saved by Reina. And scrambled back for El Clasico, and it's exactly what the left back needed after his summer move. Here's Ivan Rakitic breaking the offside trap into the area. De Jong, little heavy with his control, and it just got away from him.
There's plenty of time. It does fit when you look at why they made the signing and when they made the signing. I thought it was a really good signing, good value for money, good young player, but he hasn't shown his true form just yet.
Good interception by Lenglet as Dani Rodriguez tried to release Kubo. Now here's Messi. Rakitic outside him. Slides it into Suarez, and the instant snapshot. See there his frustration.
Frenkie de Jong makes an outstanding run as well, and at times Messi and Suarez they are guilty of ignoring our teammates.
Due to that incredible understanding and relationship they have, it sometimes borders over into just having eyes for each other.
And I think Frenkie de Jong was a pass that was possibly favourable to the one that they eventually did choose to play between them.
Well, it's a change for Mallorca then, the first change of the game, and Alex pitchside, it's an attacking change because we've got a striker coming on for a midfielder with him out of the way behind his back, so no penalty. Corner sent in by Kubo, attacked by Rayo, but taken short to Febas, back to Kubo, who cuts inside to shoot on his right foot and well off target. You think he's living up to expectations? There were big expectations of Frenkie de Jong after the brilliant form he had with Ajax in the Champions League last season. We'll come back to that in a moment, because here's Kubo with the run of Gameth. Decent cross to the far post, and there's a second goal for Budimir. Towering header. Ter Stegen may be at fault as he came and didn't get anywhere near it. Excellent ball into the box by Fran Gameth, and Budimir now, like Leo Messi, is on a hat-trick.
Well, he's played so well this season. He's been a fantastic signing for Mallorca, and he's found it hard tonight, but he's got 2 goals. It's an incredible achievement, and he's always looking to run in behind. His movement is excellent. You can see Kubo on the ball. He lays it onto the full-back who's overlapping. Adventurous play from Mallorca, and he pulls away from PK, gets himself up against Sergio Roberto. Ter Stegen is helpless. It's not great positional play from the goalkeeper. He doesn't really get up to challenge for the ball, but certainly Enter Budimir does, and he just tucks his head in, makes sure from that range he heads the ball down, keeps it under the crossbar. It's an open goal, but it's absolutely brilliant for Mallorca to get 2 goals. We can be critical again. One of the criticisms of Barcelona is the goals that they're conceding this season. They've played brilliant tonight.
Summer, and here he is now starting, and clearly he'll have a big role in whether they manage to stay up or not. Here's Kubo cutting inside. Nice ball, well, nice idea on the ball, but just too much weight on it. He saw the run. Easy gather for the Mallorca keeper, and Messi has been pretty quiet so far in this second half. I say so far. Here's Mallorca coming forward again with Kubo. Budimir making a run into the middle, and Kubo couldn't deliver the cross a few minutes ago, and Josep Senier comes on to replace him. Corner is taken short, and now whipped in. Griezmann with the header. Ooh, the overhead attempt by Dani Rodriguez from the right. Messi in the middle. Leaves Senior for dead, and then I think that pass might have been intended for Junior Firpo, but Suarez got a foot on it. And there's a challenge by Junior Firpo, which will be a free kick.
Made it really difficult for Sergio Roberto and PK to break out.
Now here's Vidal, cuts it back for Suarez, and another shot from
The left side of the attack for Barcelona.
We haven't seen too much from Junior Firpo, certainly in the second half coming forward. It's Budimir on a hat-trick. Kubo ushered inside. It's carried on by Dani Rodriguez, and now Kubo with the shot that's blocked. Hernandez picks his spot. Ter Stegen with a very unorthodox save. Right hand to prevent the ball beating him the other way. Kubo again, bright and progressive. And there's the shot from being booked, but Mallorca keeping the ball. Febas working it wide to Gamez. Kubo looking to get away from Griezmann. Clever bit of skill. Broken up by Lenglet. Now Alenya to keep themselves in with a sniff of a hope for the final few minutes here. But Busquets now to Sergio Roberto. Suarez. Messi! Oh, there's the hat-trick! It had been coming all night, and now he has completed for 20 or 30 passes. But eventually, Suarez with the layoff and Messi with the finish. Hat-trick. Terry Gibson, you called it.
Of course, yeah, but it's not the most difficult. I'm not going to claim any credit for that. It's not when he scores a goal in the 16th minute, and it's the week that.
Valverde, what do we do with this new player?
Well, I think my take on it was
Here's Kubo driving into the penalty area, past Lenglet, but not past Ter Stegen, who sends out a right hand and maybe not the. Look at his stats and what he's achieved. Yeah, the fans chanting his name again. Here he is on the ball again. Suarez flicking it through. Oh, and that could be an own goal. Manolo Reina evades that, and Vidal can only put it in the side netting after the of effectively 9 full games. 12 goals and 5 assists. 17 goals he's been involved in 9 games. In Mallorca looking to get a late goal with Kubo running into the box. And look at the energy of Sergio Roberto, who's maybe not the most dynamic, not finished here yet though, because Messi coming through again. He wants his 4th, it's blocked, comes back to him. Carlos Perez, there's 4 in the middle. If there's going to be time for him to play the ball in, the 3 minutes of added time is nearly up. Does come to Messi. Suarez turning, good save by Reina and scrambled away. And
he put it in, but Manolo Reina does really well with the save. You can see him there.